Right then, folks, recently I've been going back on some of the old conversions that I did a while ago that I've not finished. I think I've been doing them over the last couple of years on and off. Haven't really finished any of them, but just going to do the Britfix, Airfix Britain's Detail Japanese that I started doing. There's a couple there. That's an officer with his sword. And I'm just going to start putting these out as I do them. Charging with bayonet. Done a couple of these, different ones. Quite a few of these. These aren't finished. These I started painting them, but I'm going to redo them again. There's one there. Kneeling, defending. Got to change the bayonet on there for him. There's another one out. Attacking. I'll bring it up so you can see them. This is a mixture of Britain's Detail broken figures and Airfix broken figures that I do. Kneeling officer with sword. Like I said, they're not painted how I wanted them to be finished, but I started them, but these have been ongoing for a couple of years now. Machine gunner, obviously he's going to be on a wall or a mound or in camp sandbags or something like that. So he's kneeling, firing machine gun. Rifleman standing firing. I've done quite a few of these. The plan was to do about 47 of them after the film, the 47 Ronin. And that's what I was going to do. That's just a head swap on that. So, another officer. Like I said, the paint was not great on him, but didn't have the right paints at the time. There's a guy. This can go with this guy. He's firing this weapon. I'm trying to remember what it was called now, but I did a bit of research on it. I've got to make this canister smaller on the end. It's not a bazooka. It was more of a rocket launcher type thing, a recoilless rifle. But yeah, I made that out of a bit of sprue, a little can from some accessory set, and that piece on the end is actually the end of a tube of super glue cut off. Another officer. Another officer there. I tried to do as many different ones as possible. That's a guy's got a grenade in his hand. I've got to do a bit more on this gun. They did have a gun like this. I can't remember what it's called. I should have. Next time I do the video on the update on these, I'll find out the names of these two weapons. There we go. Another charging bayonet guy. This is a mortar guy. He's standing up, but when I first did him, he had it on some sandbags on an embankment in a camp. But that's the idea behind that. So he's got it on some sandbags or anything like that, sort of a wall or whatever. Another one defending, very similar to like that one. Obviously different hats, helmet and a hat on those. The ordinary mortar guy, different head. I've got to put the blade in this sword for this guy. He's missing it at the moment. He's obviously running, attacking the enemy. Another guy kneeling, machine gunning. defensive positions. There's this guy. These are binoculars he's got on his hand. Obviously his sword. Needs to sort his sword out. He's rallying the troops. Kneeling firing. I think this is just a this is literally just an Airfix on a detail stand. I don't know if I oh, actually it's not. It is a different. It's not an Airfix. It's a Britain's detail with a Airfix head on it. It's that long ago I've done them. I've forgotten which figures I used to do it with. There you go, flag bearer, and they're all attacking. I have taken some pictures and put it on my Facebook page of these in the past, but I thought I'd dig them out because I did some 7th Cavalry for somebody yesterday, and Britain's detail, Airfix 7th Cavalry, but they were just Britain's detail actually. So it sort of reminded me back to when I first started doing conversions over the last few years. I've been doing conversions for years and years, but I've been really doing it sort of big time over the last 3 years since I've been doing this to earn a living. Double swords. Don't know how mythical that would be in a battle, but I just thought it looked good. And then another one, standing machine gunner. He's getting up, firing at the enemy, doing the old Arnold Schwarzenegger Rambo pose. I don't know how hot that barrel would get in me holding it. And then I've done this little one. I'll just move some of these to the back so you can see it better. This was like a little enclosure in the jungle, firing position, and this actually goes that way. So I just made out a bit of dowel in. It's Britain's detail mortar base on the bottom, laying down firing machine gunner with a head swap, a few little sandbags in there. So the idea is he's covered in his little gun position, gun emplacement, and that goes over the top like that. Got a few more bits to do on these. And oh, here we go. Got the gun team. Mounted it all on a mortar base. I recorded this right, yeah, it was a mortar base actually, Britain's detail mortar base. Mixture of Britain's detail. This is a crescent gun. I just thought it looked good in this little setup. Little gun crew there. And last but not least, I can't remember what these are called now. It's the suicide. It had a nickname, the suicide thing. Suicide stick or something like that. I'm trying to remember now. I remember when I made it. And that's the rest of the glue lid there. And the idea was they ran up to a tank, hit it, these spikes went in, and it exploded. And as you can guess, you know, trying to run up to a tank that's got troops around it and tank crew in it. I don't think there's a recorded thing of it actually working. I think there was a recorded strike, and obviously being that close to an explosion impact, not many of the guys survived doing it. But I think it only actually one tank ever got hit by the Japanese with one of these weapons. But yeah, I thought that'd be a bit different, make that at the time. But as you can see, there's quite a few there. I think I've got to do another 12 or 16 in total. I'll have to count up and work it out. But the idea behind it, I started doing it, and the idea was do 47 of them in total. I'm just going to adjust that down so you can see all of them. yeah, so that was the idea behind it. And these were ones I did a few years ago. I started doing these Britain's Detail Americans a few years ago. And I did the raising of the flag Iwo Jima, which I've no longer got it anymore. I sold it on. Someone on my Facebook page asked for it. Bought a load of Britain's Detail Americans. There we go. Grenade for an American troop. I don't think these are for time period correct with the gaiters on, but I think they still look good. And then I'll do more of them. I've got a few more of the Americans to do, all these Japanese. So yeah, I was revisiting a few years ago. These have been sat in a box for ages. I think I'll get these painted up and start making the rest of them. But thanks for watching. A bit long-winded this one because there's a lot of figures. But yeah, thank you very much. Bye.